Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. You know it. We're here every Sunday at 8:30, and it's time. We are here with a very special guest, but before we get to him, let's introduce my co-host, Money Mike.
I'm great, man. I'm great. Let's do this.
You do that? You ready to go?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You have a friend in the building
Man,
tonight.
I have a friend in the building, man.
You have a friendly here.
Yeah, he agrees with me. We was talking beforehand.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
I know you're excited about it.
Let me just say that.
He's excited. All right, Stat Pat, are you as excited as Money Mike tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
All right, we're going to get to some good stuff.
Yeah, you know how it is, man. We in this bitch. Let's show
All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. Our guest is Newton Maynage, actor, athlete, stud, just working it out. Newton, how you doing? How you feeling? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Man, thank you guys for having me here. I'm excited, man. I'm doing great, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to have the conversations we're about to have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I feel the energy, man. About to be good.
If you don't know, Newton spent quite a bit of time working on Winning Time this last season. You were on there. Let's just get started right there, if you're okay with that, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were on Winning Time. Go ahead and tell the player that you're playing, introduce, and let's just talk a little about what that experience was like, and then we'll go back and figure out how you got there.
Okay.
So Winning Time, you played
Jim Jones.
There you go, Jim Jones. What was that like?
It was fantastic, man. I mean, Jim Jones, he was on that 79, 80, 81 teams, rather. And it was a surreal opportunity because, I'm a ball player anyway, played overseas, and then to be able to be in this Laker dynasty as an actor, it was amazing, man. I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity as an actor to play a ball player.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah. It seems like we've talked to a few of the other actors and ball players that were there.
Yeah.
It really seems like there was a sense of respect for the project you were working on, like really a respect for wanting to get it right. Is that we got that feeling? Was that really there on set? Was everyone really just sticking to it and trying to get everything correct and historically correct?
Absolutely. I mean, our execs, for example, man, they did thorough research on storylines and each character individually, their personalities, what their accomplishments were, and we went in with all of these this information to be able to make sure that the story was done correctly. And so when we went in, we once again, being a ball player, I personally reached out to Jim Jones, and he became a resource for me.
Beautiful.
I was able to, while I'm going through my scripts, I was able to ask him different questions and have conversations. And then next, he's reminiscing, and I was able to feed on that stuff and bring it into my character as well, it was a blessing for me.
So let me ask you, man, had you heard of Jim Jones before?
I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that most people have not.
Right.
Because he was very pivotal in the game of basketball. He was the second player ever to leave college basketball early. And a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was a trailblazer.
He was,
in a sense, and doesn't get his right. Well,
and he was a good role player too.
He was.
Yes.
He was.
You always hear about the obvious, the Kareem, the Magic, and focus on that. But there are role players that you need in order for you be able to win a championship.
Absolutely,
that's what's most important.
And he was a beast too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he averaged 11 that championships. That championship season, man.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Not at all, man.
Yeah.
And one thing about him, he was a guy who motivated the team. He talked a lot of shit, but he was that guy who rode with you. So if anybody needed backup, he was right there to back up Kareem, Magic, and everybody else.
One of the neat things I think that we all liked so much was we're all obviously Laker fans here. Pat's almost a historian, and we all learned something. Just like you learned, Jim, we all were learning something about the team, the era, the period, everything. There was so much. And I think that was the most surprising part about the series. I mean, obviously it was fun. It was outstanding to watch. But the fact that real diehard Laker fans are still learning stuff.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And it was just outstanding. So we know they're coming back for a season 2.
We are.
We are. I love it. That's what we wanted to
that's what we wanna hear.
confirm.
That's what we're getting
Absolutely.
We are.
Looking forward to it. Awesome. Were you simply not simply, but stuck to Jim Jones only? Because I know several players played many different players. Were you specifically for Jim Jones? That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I was
so
casted for Jim Jones.
you were
Yes,
Jim
okay.
Jones. You didn't have to
That's
worry about
dope.
anything else.
That's
That's
dope.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, perfect. And I know that speaking with others, that even the style of shooting, the style of play to match the players. What was that like? Was that hard to change or shift up at all, or not really?
Well, I'm a point guard naturally, and Jim Jones, he's a power forward. He's 6'11". I'm not 6'11".
Mhm.
So I studied his game thoroughly, just from the standpoint to make sure that and that wasn't just me, it was all of us, to respect the era, respect the player that we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all were diligent. We have a trainer as well, the NBA guy, Edon. He's trained a ton of NBA players.
Yep.
And he made sure that each individual player knew what that looked like for their respective character. And I think I'd like to say personally, seeing it every day, that we did a great job in emulating these guys, because I look at the series as a love letter.
Yes.
To these guys. You know, some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people didn't like it.
Yeah.
But once again, you can't.
Well,
You can't
Some
please
people
everybody.
don't like their
you know
dirty
why
laundry.
they, you know why they didn't
Exactly.
like it.
All right.
Right?
You know, they don't like
Yeah,
their dirty laundry.
Yeah, you know, well, they didn't like it too because they didn't produce it. They're not getting no money from it. Either.
Yeah.
That's just the real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, it is. We talked to a whole lot of people. Like we talked to Roy Firestone. We was like,
Okay.
hey, Chick Hearn look like a little, kind of like an asshole.
Yeah.
You didn't want to cross Chick Hearn. You know what I mean?
But you didn't know that.
Hey, you know what I mean? Jay West, him going around having to he used to be in the bathroom, because he couldn't watch a game. Well, what did we see? Him in the bathroom because we watch a game. So I think it really was a true, authentic portrayal of what happened. I just think that people didn't want to see them in that light.
Yeah, they didn't want to.
Yeah, they didn't want to see their heroes or tarnished in a little bit, and that's okay though, but I looked at it like the production, like you were talking about, the attention to detail. Like everyone, like you said, all the actors that were playing other people or playing the players, they were really going back and trying to find out how their guy they're playing as, how their game was. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to make it look like when we're looking at these clips of back in the day, it has to look authentic. It has to look like, they're actually playing ball in the 80s and how it used to look and the feel of it and stuff like that. And so I always appreciated the actors are in the background.
Yeah.
Because they were they all had assignments too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they all had to be there.
Important.
And everyone's important because they wanted to make it as real as possible. And yes, it would, it took liberties. That's okay though, because at the end of the day, it was entertainment.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And like Mike said, the Lakers weren't getting no. That's why it's funny right now. Like,
because
the Lakers got the legacy coming out on Hulu. I'm gonna watch it, but it's like,
if they don't spill any dirty laundry, then you're
they're
like,
not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it though.
I've already read the Laker books. Like, what are you gonna teach me? Like,
so you gonna tell me how it really was? Okay,
I'm
so
gonna tell you what was my 100% clue was when they asked Jenny Buss about the conversation that Jerry Buss had with Magic.
Yeah.
Right. And they said, hey, is this true, Jeannie? Jeannie said, yeah, this is true, but tune in to our show at this time. So wait a minute. So you admit that this portrayal is true, and now you're throwing in your advertising for yours. All right, I'm gonna watch yours too to see.
I'm just gonna watch it just because. But
right?
but
am I gonna learn something?
And then in the middle of that sandwich in there, we had the Magic, and I hate to be like this, man. The Magic Johnson thing didn't move me like what's the one of Jordan, the Last Dance?
Last Dance.
That was like, and I know, don't get me wrong, we were in the middle of the pandemic, so everybody was like looking for entertainment. And so we were all glued. It's like kind of like we were when the Tiger King came out. We were kind of like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh my God, we would never watch that right now. But anyway, but now you got like all that happening. And I don't know, it's like Magic was just like womp womp. Like I didn't feel it. Like no one's talking about it. No. Like no one's talking about the Magic documentary. And it's almost like, let's get ahead of the story. Let me put my stuff out there. Because this sucker's damning. This sucker's
because see, look. They said what he did. They showed what he did to Cookie in Game Time.
Bro.
Did they show any of
Nah,
that?
man.
You know what
it's
I mean?
gonna be all about the dream team.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all about the stuff like he beating Bird in Indiana.
All
We know,
classy.
dog. You beat Bird in Indiana. Like, we know already. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many
Yeah.
times we gonna tell that story?
Yeah.
Like, I know that story all day.
Google that. He didn't have no,
I want to know something else.
he had no asshole moment or nothing.
No,
Yeah,
see,
everybody
and
bad.
that's what the last
Because see, that's
dance
what
is cool.
that's what the Jordan was. Like,
Yeah.
I tell people, said, dude, Jordan's an asshole. And if you don't believe it, watch his Hall of Fame speech.
Bro,
You know what I mean? He literally brought
doesn't hold back.
somebody
just so I can talk shit to you
say,
in your face.
You're the one that I got cut for. Like,
Bro.
Yeah.
like how do you he did that in his Hall of Fame speech.
My man
And he
came in
had
there.
him- and he had him in the audience.
Right.
Just to call
So
him
we
out.
looking at him like
No,
he's
just to
pointing
call
to him
him
out.
out.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, look, to my kids, I love y'all, but y'all never amount to me.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
like, dude, the kids take catch the strays. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn.
That's Mike though. That's Vince.
Man.
You know,
And
and he's
don't
on
respect
brand.
it either,
He's
though.
on brand.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right, you have to understand, but see, that's the thing about it though. You have to be an ass. Like, I love Puffy, P Diddy, same thing, but he
my
an
guy.
ass. You
dude,
you
wait a
don't want to
minute.
work for him.
What about that video of what Puffy like? I'm a savage.
Yeah,
Like, give me
I believe that,
anything you can't do, I can do.
Yeah.
That's my best part of that whole thing. Anything you can't
Man,
do, I can do, bruh. That's some.
I like the mentality.
That's
though. It's a good
that's
mentality.
on top.
It is.
Damn
That's
straight.
A1 thinking, like, bro, like it means I could do anything. That's
Yeah.
the
Separated though.
That is the
mentality-
Well,
separated.
it is though,
Yeah.
because see,
Yes.
that's the work that people put in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
and no matter what your craft is,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't be nice to everybody.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? If you want to go somewhere, like I love the story with the Apple guy, the guy that died,
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, where
yeah.
he sat around and he said make it smaller, and they said, sir, it can't be smaller, and he took it and threw it into the aquarium, and bubbles came out. He said it can be smaller. I love that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because if there's air, you can make it smaller.
Yeah, there's
Push the
space.
You know,
Mhm.
there's
There's
space
space.
in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just.
So I have a question for you. You obviously watched the series with everybody else.
I
So
did.
you're working on it all this time. A lot of it was green screen during play because we've seen some of the behind the scenes when you're playing it. So what were you when you finally saw it come out? What was that like? You're just like, I mean, you had to just been like, whoa.
Well, because I wasn't in every scene, so it was like I was watching like everybody else. I knew what my stuff was
Mhm.
from a standpoint of the feel of it.
Mhm.
I didn't see playbacks and stuff like that,
Mhm.
so I knew what that looked like and what that felt like.
Mhm.
I had an idea of what that would look like.
Okay.
But to see like the Bruce Lee and my brother Solomon do his thing on that,
Yeah.
that was a pivotal moment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Moment.
Mhm.
And so I was a fan just like everybody else, like, wow, man, this happened and that happened. Even though I had the script, but to see the end
Nice.
result, the finished
See it
product,
play out. Yeah.
oh man, it was fantastic. So
Mhm.
I mean, I personally enjoyed it. I learned a lot too,
Mhm.
just from us, because once again, everything's in the editing room too.
Yeah.
We give them all the footage we based on our performances, and then they make their magic in the editing room with the execs and the editors, and they make what they make.
Mhm.
And I thought it was great, man. I was excited every week,
Yes.
and I'm glad that they had the structure of releasing it every week
Mhm.
to give that anticipation. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it worked great. It worked
Even
great.
though people are like, man, I'm waiting on. Why can't he just release the whole thing? Nah,
dude.
man.
Nah, let
I'm
it
old school.
marinate.
I want to see it every
Right.
week.
Let it
Right, right,
marinate. Let me
right.
talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So-
Yeah.
So Chick Kern said we're here in the fabulous forum, 17,505. How many people were in there? How many people were in the crowd?
How many people you think was in there?
I was probably say 100.
How many people you think in a normal setting? How many people was in it? You think?
I'm only talking about the audience.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In a normal setting, back in the day, how many people do you think was in there
I would probably say
in a forum?
in that forum, probably about 100 people, all
Nah.
just to kind of cover.
No,
No, I'm
talking about in
during the
real
regular
life.
game.
Oh.
Oh, 17,505.
There you go.
Believe it.
Hey, I saw that green screen.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Movie
Okay,
magic.
all right.
Movie magic.
Hey,
we'll
we-
stick with that.
All right, cool.
All right. So let's get to how
I
you
know
got here.
17,505. That's what Chick Kern said.
Hey, we made it happen.
Years.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
all right, cool.
They was all there, and they need extras for this year too.
Yeah,
So
you know what I'm
sign
saying?
up. Okay, so let's get back to how you got to Winning Time. Okay, so you were born in
I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina.
and raised.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, of course. And then you are a ball player.
I am. I played
And-
overseas for a little while.
Played for overseas, and you went to North Carolina, correct?
North Carolina.
Okay, so you know the history there. You know your boy Jordan. You're a Jordan fan?
Oh, absolutely, man. That's my goat. I mean, I love Kobe too.
Yeah.
Those two guys, man. That's the epitome of basketball for me.
Right there. Okay, all right. So you're college. You go play overseas. At this point, you're a basketball player. Were you always thinking acting? Did that switch? Did that come to you at some point? When did the acting really pick up?
So acting was not in my trajectory at all. You know, when I got out of college, I came out here because my agent was out here. I worked out here with my agent. I just happened to come out here and worked out with him for a year. And he got me my gig. I went to Germany for 2 seasons. And people would ask me, "Are you an actor? You a model?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm playing ball. Man, what y'all talking about?" And but this is the environment for that.
This is LA.
But at that time, I'm focused on basketball. So then, you know, I go overseas. I ended up getting hurt. Got into a car crash for the end of my career. Drunk driver hit me.
Oh man.
Oh,
And
no.
Overseas in Germany?
Yeah, no, it was here in LA.
Oh, you were here back. Okay,
I was
good.
so I just signed a contract to play to go back overseas, and I got into a major accident. Ended my career. I was going to Spain,
Oh, wow.
so it was going to be it was going to be a better paycheck, better environment,
Yeah.
and I was on that trajectory to go and get on the summer league team. So if I would have played that Spanish season up, so that happened, man. Just kind of threw my whole world, and it was in turmoil essentially, and so I'm trying to figure out what next. I had 4 knee surgeries, back problems for years. So I ended up going back to school. I got my MBA. I got my
good.
my law degree.
All right.
So people would ask me, "Are you an actor? You a model?" So I'm like, "All right, man. Let me see what that is."
Apparently, someone wants me to be an
Somebody sees
actor.
something in
I'm
you.
like,
Exactly.
I see you on a show.
You got
I
God
mean,
over
you
You
there.
look familiar. You look familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
You never
all
seen
right.
me on the
I'm like, "What show you seen me on?" "Yeah, you know that show with my man in them." Yeah. I'm like, "No." So I said, "All right, let me see what that is." So I went, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tasha Smith.
Yeah.
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 Tasha Smith. So she has an acting studio in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
And I went out there, audited the studio just to kind of see how it was, and I fell in love instantly. I'm like, all right, I can do this, man. And so I started taking classes with her and started learning the craft. I took it seriously, similar to the game of basketball, breaking down everything. And in the process of learning how to act, modeling gigs started to come up. So next, you know, I get a model manager, and next, you know, I'm doing all the LA fashion weeks, and which then goes to the New York Fashion Weeks, Miami Fashion Week,
So you type some
Milan
Bedford down.
Fashion Week.
Okay.
I mean, it just kept growing.
Right.
Mostly runway stuff.
Mhm.
And within all of that, I was still doing my acting training. So then I started doing short film, student film, just, you know, and I was trying to be like a sponge. You got to
Build the
crawl.
reel.
Exactly. You got to
Yep.
crawl, walk, run. But
Right.
I also looked at it from a business perspective, because once again, I had my education. I was a sports agent too, on top of that, before
Okay.
I got into acting.
Okay.
So I understood marketing and how important that was.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make yourself look well or look good in order to entice someone to give you an opportunity,
Exactly.
right? Production quality. So I
Mhm.
wanted to make sure if it was a small production, I made sure that the quality was exceptional.
Right.
Because once again, I'm competing with legitimate actors who've been on CIS
Exactly.
Miami or
Exactly,
whatever
yeah.
show or movie it was. And so I started to do that, and over time, feature films, which eventually got me to this point.
That's awesome.
40 credits later. Yeah.
Nice.
40 credits
That's
later.
amazing.
Yeah,
This
your
is my
IMDb page. Go check it out,
Wow.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
for sure.
you was all around. Hey, but let me. I'm going to regress a little bit, man,
Go for it.
because you played overseas, right?
did.
I got to ask this overseas question. So you went to Germany. You knew what the rules were, right?
Hey, I know.
I
what
just
the
want to make
rules-
sure. Right?
Yeah.
You knew what to have, where you could go, what you could do, what you couldn't do.
Oh, yeah.
you
Very
knew
well.
you weren't in America no more.
Oh,
Right?
man. I got a rude awakening when I was out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you a little bit about
Please.
that.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to know. I just want to double check.
Because as we know, Americans can tend to get in trouble when they go
Yeah,
overseas
yeah,
and
yeah.
play, and
Oh, yeah.
sometimes they get sentenced to 9 years.
It's
So,
ridiculous,
I
man.
mean, yeah.
That's just unfortunate, man.
It really
it's
is.
unfortunate, but you knew the rules. I just want to make sure when you
Oh, from that standpoint, I see what you're
right.
saying.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to
Yeah,
make
that's
sure.
what we're talking about.
Like you was about to go to Spain, so you was researching the rules, right?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Like what can I do and what can I not do in Spain
Yeah.
that I could do in Germany? Or
So what about that time that
Yeah,
actually
yeah, tell
happened
us.
when you didn't
We gotta hear it.
when you didn't know the rules?
What was the rule that you learned?
So, man, for me, I've always been a square man. So I never did any kind of substances or anything like that. I'm barely drunk.
Mm,
I did well in school because of basketball. I know I needed to do well in school to stay on the court.
Right.
So my parents are from the Congo. So I
Yeah.
grew up in an African environment. So they were
It's
academic.
different.
Let me see you doing something crazy. That's how my
Right.
peoples were, man. So I stayed on that path of just staying focused, right? And I just kind of carried that over. So when I went overseas to Germany, being in a new environment, I wanted to see what I could and could not do for myself. I didn't want to bring anything. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to learn the environment on my own or other people who could guide me and effectively learn it. So I was pretty cool though. Even when I went out with coaches. I went out with my other teammates who've been there for years, for seasons. And it was a good time, but those guys party hard out there, man. Spots would close till 10 in the morning.
What?
Opening at 8. Close at 10, be right back open at 8. So I learned very quickly, I need to stay focused out here or else, if you party too much, you're going to lose your game, man, because you're going to be too tired.
Yeah.
You
can't be in shape. You can't do both.
You can't be in shape, man. And I was focused, man. So I think for me, the biggest thing I had to deal with was the rules from a basketball perspective. Because I get out there and I'm going to the rack, I get clothesline, the ball going the other way.
Wow.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the ref like, yo, ref, what's good? And he said, nah, man, you American. Don't worry about it. Let me touch my man, though, like that. A foreign player who was German or something else. It's a foul. So I had to adjust my game from that standpoint and understand, just get your ass up, next play. So that's where that toughness came from that perspective. But and that was during the day too, because that was like 03, 04. Before the league is now extremely European.
Yes.
But and the European style of play, even with the Euro step. I saw all that over there before we was doing it over here. Like, what is this, man? I'm jumping off the second jump, and Cat got one more step. So I had to adjust that too. But and all the bigs were shooting threes.
Yeah. So
we had a big 7-footer, man. He's about 7'1". And he's shooting threes. I'm man, get your big ass down in the paint. About 280, 285.
What you doing out there?
And so a lot of times we would have role reversals. We pan to pick and pop, and he'd be the one popping. You know what I'm saying? For the three. So it was a different dynamic, man. But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to play different, and like you said, makes you tougher.
Yeah.
So it makes you ready for just about whatever. You just accept how it is and so forth.
Right.
That's awesome. Okay. So you grew up, what was your favorite NBA team growing up?
It was the Bulls, man.
Bulls because of Jordan. The Jordan connection.
Yeah, let's be real.
North Carolina, man. He's God out there.
Okay, that's
fair. Black Jesus.
I hear that.
More than fair. Yeah. What's your favorite team now?
Because as we know, all Bull fans that were fans back then, they're not Bull fans now. And that's why we was mad. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm just be real. I'm giving 100, dude. Like, that's why we mad. Because we know y'all wasn't lasting. That's why we looking at y'all Golden State Warrior fans. Yeah. Because when they gone,
when Steph's gone, it's a wrap. Yeah.
You gonna have to do that again for me. You know what I'm saying? I need a new cast of characters. I need y'all to do that again. Because if you want to be on our level, you got to keep doing it. Yeah. You just can't be, because that's what it was. That's the Jordan era. They ain't sniffed the championship yet.
So hold on, let me go back to that question you asked. Who was my favorite team? I didn't have a favorite team. I had a favorite player.
That's fair.
Michael Jordan.
So you became a Wizards fan then?
All day.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I had the Wizards jersey and all that.
That's fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Minor league baseball team fan?
Yeah, all day.
It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah,
it didn't matter. That's sweet.
Hey, yeah, that's nice.
But that's loyal.
But now,
so you're a Charlotte fan then?
I've always been a Charlotte. That's
hometown.
And then, back in the day, how could you not back then when you had Morning, Bowes, Grandma Ma, you know what I'm saying, Dale Curry, you know, you had rest in peace, my man, Bobby Fields, you know what I'm saying? So, like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Who else was on there? I'm missing them. Who?
Bloody Divac was on there.
Who was Hershey? Was it Hershey? Who was the
Hershey
Hawkins?
Hershey Hawkins was on it. Yeah, dude, they had a squad, man. I was like,
Kendall Gill,
man. Come on, man.
I'm telling you,
come on, dude.
That's stat pat for a reason, right there. That's for sure.
So who's your team now?
Man, well, I got two teams. Charlotte. Of course, I love Melo. I love what he's doing.
I do too.
He's a beast, man. He's still got a lot of upside.
Yeah. Do you see what that youngest player always has the best talent?
Well, they get to watch the older brothers grow.
You
get to watch and learn.
Getting beat up throughout the whole process.
That too.
Seeing
they don't take it easy on you.
Yeah, seeing the business of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Learned a lot of that quickly versus them. That was that first go round.
Yeah,
he's seeing it a couple times.
Yeah,
Until he gets his turn. And
Yeah,
It's
so
already
they
locked in,
really
know what to
hard on
expect.
He like, man,
They-
I'm about to freak this, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm about to get all y'all.
my
Yeah,
God.
I've been training with all y'all
Right.
since I was a kid
Exactly.
anyway.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
all the
Yeah,
pressure's
sure.
on the first child. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just
That
gotta
second
be
one-
better him.
That second
That's
one,
it.
yeah. That second one just slide right
I gotta
through.
be good. I just gotta be better than him.
Yeah,
I'm
you know what I'm saying?
gonna do that.
Plus, when you expose to all these cats too constantly,
Yeah.
man, you can't do nothing but get better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nah,
At an
exactly.
early
Keep
age,
playing,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
keep playing. And he had talent to begin
Yeah.
with. And the dad screaming at him all the time.
Yeah, hey, I respect LeVar though, man.
I do too.
I
do
used
too.
to-
Yeah, he's got 3 kids, successful kids.
You can't see
D'Angelo, he's still working hard.
Hey, he
He's
scored
still
53
trying.
in the truth.
He did.
score
Hey.
53.
One more than LeBron.
Yeah.
He did.
You know,
That was 13 more than LeBron, man.
you know what?
Hey,
though?
you got-
LeBron had 43.
He had 40. He had
42,
40.
I thought.
Oh, okay, that's right.
See,
Yeah,
see,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
gonna get this
Hey,
man
we
started.
want to talk about it. He
I'ma
was
leave it
two-
alone.
He
I'ma
was
leave
2 from 13 for 3 too. I'm
See,
just,
see.
we just run the stats. We just run the Drew stats. That's it.
I will say this though, my favorite team now is the Hornets and the Lakers, of course.
Okay.
But the Lakers, I've always respected the Lakers for real. I mean, look at who's coming. It's a dynasty for
Mhm.
real, man. Like what other dynasty? Arguably the Celtics, of course, but Lakers, man. Kareem, Magic, Worthy,
Mhm, mhm,
Divac, Shaq, Kobe. I mean,
Mhm.
you can keep going through
It
all the
keeps
greats.
going.
mhm,
Jim
mhm.
Jones,
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that'll lead us to today
Okay.
with our current cast of superstars on the team. Obviously, we all know they are struggling. They struggled last year, didn't even make the play-in. Mr. Money Mike called that, actually.
Yeah.
He said they wouldn't make
That's
the play-in,
ridiculous.
unfortunately, and they
Yeah.
didn't. And even Trevor Lane, who hosts Lakers Nation, he thought Money Mike was crazy and said there's no way. But Money Mike was right, and everyone called him a hater. But he's a realist, is what it was. So now, of course, what we're dealing with is a squad that has 3 superstars, and one is disgruntled and probably doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
We're talking about LeBron, AD, and of course Westbrook. All right. Right off the bat, you're a Laker fan as a team. What are your thoughts on the current squad being led by LeBron James?
Oh, I don't have anything against LeBron. It's just I from a standpoint of a basketball player, I just think that, and I love Westbrook. I'm a big Westbrook fan. Me personally, I don't think it was a good fit.
I think everyone thought that from the beginning. Yeah.
I don't know why he was here.
Mhm.
I know why he came.
I get he's his hometown.
No.
I get that.
He got a call from
From LBJ.
LeBron.
Oh, is that what that was?
LeBron's a GM.
Yeah, he is. He
So-
is a GM.
So
That's a bad fit, though, man.
Yeah.
For the
It-
GM,
it
if you gonna
is.
play a GM, you got to see what's
You
gonna
gotta-
fit around
you got to hit too. I mean,
Come on, man.
you got to hit
Like
on
that-
those picks.
Like you need to figure it out, man. I don't like the dynamic, and I'm gonna be real. I'm concerned about the future of this
Oh,
team
yeah.
going into this season, man. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what they're gonna do or what to expect.
Yeah.
Because then you got the health aspect too.
Well, the health with AD, Mr. Glass, of course. Now he's been training hard. They say he's been
Yeah.
out there with Lethal Shooter. If you follow
My guy.
basketball, you're
That's my
online.
guy.
Lethal Shooter.
Yeah.
Well known shooting coach throughout the NBA and NBA world. So he's working on his game. But again, that's a big, like I said, working on his shot.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of wants to see him inside, but
Yeah.
word is the new coach, Ham, wants to run the offense through Anthony Davis.
I love him, by the way.
Anthony
too.
Davis is good.
Yeah.
Gonna bring
I
that
love the
toughness.
talent.
And Rasheed Wallace coming in.
He's not
Well,
actually.
Oh, he's not.
He
No,
pulled out. He
yeah,
was, and he pulled out. We don't know
Get
why.
out of here.
Yeah, he's
man.
no longer on
Yeah.
the on the
Oh my
coaching
God,
spot.
man! Do you know what that would have done?
Yeah.
Wonders,
Yeah,
yeah, that would've-
wonders,
yeah, he either would have
wonders. With
either
still a little
would've
dog in him. You know, put a
killed, it
little-
would have
yeah.
killed AD spirit
dude.
or made him tougher.
One of the two.
One
Oh,
or
he
two.
would have built him up. He would have been like, dude, he would have told him like, there's absolutely no way in the world that you should not be dominating all these cats. Because you know Rasheed Wallace was like, everyone talking about that stretch 4. People don't realize that she was like kind of like that
He
prototype.
started it.
He really
He
was
was one of
out
the
there
guys that
shooting
started.
threes. He was out there hitting those jumpers. He also had a post game. Like Sheed was the complete 4.
And would bang and dunk
And
on
would
you.
bang and you know what I'm saying? And got that mentality, that streak that we want AD to start playing with. I hope by all the stuff they're talking about him over the summer, you know, that it's going to get a little fire in him because he has to know he's the catalyst.
He
And
has
if
to, man.
if he is going to be healthy, I really believe the Lakers, even with Westbrook, it's going to be hard, but they will have a good shot because AD is that much of a mismatch to people.
He is.
And you would have to conform. We were talking about people that, you know, that actually affect the game.
Yeah.
You know, not just stat patterns. You know,
Yeah.
somebody that's actually going to be able to go ahead and have a lot of gravity on the court. You know, a lot of attention going to be played. You put him in there, he can reach have it in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think if AD, we're going to be strong if AD is healthy.
I agree.
If he's not, then we've seen this movie last year. It's going to continue.
Yeah.
All right. So now we've touched base. We talked a little bit. Obviously, we're talking about a super team in the Lakers. We've talked about that. We're going to talk about that a little more. I believe last season was the implosion of the super team. When you consider the Nets and the Lakers, I think the rest of the league was like,
Yeah.
so
right.
we'll get to
Absolutely.
that in a second. We're going to talk about the Nets because they're still the news. We're going to cut to a commercial break really quick. Support our sponsors. You're watching the Profanity Nation podcast. We'll be right back. United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Be sure to visit the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center for all your 420 needs. They have everything from baby Jeters to Stizzy cartridges, fuzzies, pre-rolls, great deals on eighths, raw garden diamonds. They have your gear. They have Papa and Barkley relief patches. After a hard workout, you need those. CBDs, you know that. They have plenty of edibles to choose from. Be sure to hit up the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us. Of course, this is the Profanity Nation podcast, joined here by Newton Maynage, our guest. Okay, Newton, so what we're talking about here, we're going to lead into the super teams. Last year was the implosion of the super team. The Nets crumbled. The Lakers absolutely crumbled under the pressure. Now the Nets are imploding. You have a player of Kevin Durant's caliber basically holding a team hostage, asking them or forcing them to fire their coach, fire their general manager, get me Harden. Okay, I don't want Harden anymore. Pay me for a year while I'm injured and I don't play. Then I play 1 year, we don't make the playoffs, and now I want to go. I'm just going to ask for your raw thoughts on Kevin Durant's antics, because that's all I can kind of call them.
I mean, I love Kevin. I love him from a basketball player's perspective. Great phenom, but I think it's extremely foolish. I think it's not good for the league. You got to stick with your team. Help these guys continue to grow. You got all this tension that you're creating in the organization. So then when it does, whatever happens, if he stays, whatever it is, now you got all this tension that you've created. Man up. Find a way to get a ring on your own accord instead of teaming up.
That's it.
If I'm gonna be real,
That's it.
you know, let these cats do what they do to bring in the guys that you need around you, and let's play ball, man. You're getting the most money you ever made in your life,
man.
You're taking care of your family. What more are you looking for at the end of the day, man? You won a championship. Ain't gonna talk about that because you teamed up.
Right.
But you won a championship nonetheless.
Yep, you've got a ring.
Create your legacy in a location where you can do that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And that's what because after a while, we're going to have to really start talking about and putting his legacy under the microscope, right?
I think it's there already.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's already tarnished his game.
Are you serious right now?
Just the fact that Newton had to preface going as a player, it's already happened. It's already done. He's already sealed his fate.
Right.
And essentially what you're looking at is a spoiled player, a player who doesn't want to wait to win. Doesn't want to earn it. Doesn't want to build it. He wants to go next to the Golden State win. He wants to go to the next team and win and win and win. again, it's like a 14U team beating an 11U team. It's you want to win against good competition.
Exactly.
You know, Magic is Magic because he beat the best. He beat
Yes.
Bird. Bird was right there. That's why. If there's no Bird, Magic isn't the same Magic.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the vets from back in the day, man. They wouldn't team up.
No.
They stayed with who they were to their detriment. Sometimes Charles Barkley,
Yes.
never won a championship, but he ain't go team up with Mike. He ain't go team up with Malone. He ain't go team up with all these guys. It was his fate. He tried to beat these guys constantly. New York Knicks. I mean, that's just what it was. Pat Ewing and all
exactly.
those guys.
I hate to say it though, but you guys do realize that this is the LeBron effect, right?
It is
because LeBron was the first one to basically become that general manager.
Yeah.
Where he literally, when he went to Miami, he had a meeting with Bosh and Wade. They determined on who was going to get paid the most, and literally went into Pat Riley and said, "Okay,
on a silver platter,
this is you're gonna give me 20, you're gonna give him 30, you're gonna take 15, and you know, and then that's what it's gonna be in the good sign." You know, so what the problem is when you have one player that does that and does it continuously, like he was done
and then won.
Right. Well,
so
to
the other players, it worked.
The biggest difference, though, and I'm gonna give y'all what time is it? It's 9:09, August what 14th?
Yeah.
To LeBron's credit, he's played out every contract.
That's true.
He has.
So that's what the difference is when we have a Kevin Durant. Right? Kevin Durant is not playing out this contract. He has no trade clause. If I'm the owner, I'm telling you this. I am not putting you in a position where you're going to win. I am stripping. I'm taking 4 out of 5 starters wherever you go. Wherever you go. And you're not going to like that anyway. On purpose. Yeah. Because here's the thing. I'm not going to put you where, okay, you're going to win next year. That don't benefit me.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, like, look, when we traded Shaq, we should have got Dwayne Wade.
Easily.
You know? They thought about
easily.
And they said if we would have pushed, we would have had Dwayne Wade.
Easily. But see, that's what you're talking about. Like, why can't these GMs actually grow some nuts? Like, you know, why can't because right now we are in the day and age of supposedly player empowerment. That's what they're packaging.
The power is no longer in the owner's hands. The players supposedly
have the power.
Yes,
but they coming across real shady right now. They're playing. They're negotiating in bad faith. Like they're signing on the dotted line for these big time contracts, but they're not trying to stay there for these kind of, like you said. There's one thing to LeBron's credit. He does stay through his contract. And like look how ridiculous KD looks like right now. He literally talking about that is okay that one of my teams I would like to go to would be the Celtics and the Sixers. Wait a minute, you just stripped the Sixers. You just said that Harden was the problem back then. Now you want to go back with Harden?
So look, cool.
So what is going on right now? You ain't even making sense right now. It makes no sense.
Hey, I'm taking Embiid back though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yes.
Taking the best player.
I'm taking Embiid. Like we go body for body. That's cool. Now let's see what you do.
Yes.
And I'm gonna keep it with James Harden.
Yes.
You know,
you want to play with him?
Celtics. I'm taking Brown and Tatum.
You got to.
I'm taking and Tatum.
I got to.
And Tatum.
And Tatum
both. And Smart.
I'll let I might let you have Smart, but I might take Pritchard, and I might take who's their center. That actually, that was really like in that series. I forgot his name, but he's up and coming. I like his promise.
Nice. So
I like his game.
I'm taking him.
I'm taking him. I'm taking 3 out of 5.
With him.
Not letting you do that.
With him. All right. Here's the thing. We knew. See, look. This is why we the Profane Nation, with the professional fans. I already knew what Nash was going to do over there, and his freaking assistant coach is Dan Tony.
My goodness.
Like, dude,
we know personally?
Do we know what this is? Your defense is to score more than them.
Yeah, that's your defense.
Right.
Yeah.
So literally Nash played under that system, and now Nash is controlling that system and having Dan Tony to give them tips on how to run the stuff that they did where they couldn't win. Come on, man. Like, you already know what this is. So I actually think Durant's request to get rid of Nash is a really smart request.
I mean,
I just don't think
the GM, though.
Yeah. No.
Well,
so the GM, now we're going too far now.
No.
Because now what are we going to place in here? Obviously, by you saying that, now you're telling me that I need to go ahead and get your coach and your GM. Because obviously what you picked, owner, wasn't good enough. Now allow me to go ahead and approve whoever you put it. It's like, how can the guy even have any kind of like, after a while, you have to save face. You're the owner of $1 billion franchise. Yeah. You have to be the one. Like, this junk doesn't fly with Pat Riley. It just doesn't. LeBron tried it strong. I mean, he said, well, you just got to go do what you got to do, man. Hey, man, peace. Like, you got to go ahead and do your thing.
You're not going to destroy
But you're not going to destroy us like that. We'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be fine.
I think it's destroying the league, man. Because now you got these young guys who feel like they can do the same thing. Because you're looking at your vets doing this stuff.
Yes.
And now you got all these young guys, even on the AAU level. This is what they're growing up with, and this is all they know.
Yeah,
and so that's problematic long term.
It's unfortunate. And I'll tell you, see, here's the thing about Durant. What I realized and learned about him, in order for him to be great, he needs to have somebody great that gets the double teams, so that way he can get those, and then he can do whatever he could do. Yeah. When he is the focus, he's a really, really good player, but he's not able to take him to that promised land. You know what I mean? Because they got swept, but Durant played really, really well the whole time he got swept. And I hated the way that they jumped on him. They were like, he ought to forget. He ought to just give up, because they were getting on Durant. Yeah, they were. But Durant was the only one that really was balling and did everything he could. He did not have a bad series. He was just only the focus, right? Yeah. So he needs to have another player that's going to have equal amount of focus. That's why he was so effective in Golden State. Yeah, because they had to worry about Curry and Clay. So now Durant could go crazy. Yeah. But what Durant actually really did was he extended Clay and Curry's career. Because they didn't have to work or something. Right. Because they let Durant do all the work. All right, no, you go do all the work. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're looking at KD. KD is looking at like Harrison Barnes like, okay. I mean, that's your role. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's your role. That's your role. Right. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm going to do what I do. Yeah. And we about to smoke all these cats, because you got to look at, it's literally they took him out. And Harrison Barnes, is a nice player, but he ain't KD. Yeah. And KD comes in there and he's balling out of control. And like you said, the gravity that basically Steph Curry was getting, because he was involved in all the pick and roll action. So he was using him, he's picking off him, he's picking and popping. And then he's like, then he go ahead and get into his rhythm and stick his spots. And Durant is going to cook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but see, that's why it's kind of like, y'all couldn't even let like Kyrie and you actually played something like
to actually
know what I'm saying? Like, because it was, when we heard that was teaming up, it almost struck the fear of God and everybody. Right. Serious, we were like, y'all gonna be formidable if y'all get it right.
If you get it right,
you guys can compliment
each other. And why are they not talking to each other?
Dude, now it's all crazy, bro. We even talk about Kyrie and how his whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you want to go ahead and trade him to him,
if you want to trade him,
you want to trade him over. You're gonna trade him over here, though.
We'll talk better about it once he's here. No, we're straight. Really quick, and then I want to get to a different subject, guys. But speaking of Kyrie, we'll touch on that. Rumors came out about what Kyrie was requesting to sign an extension, and the reason why he didn't and decided just to come back 1 year. And we don't know the truth of this, so this is all allegedly. However, two of the requests was that he did not want to play more than 60 games and would not play on back-to-backs. That's ridiculous. You're a ball player, you're young, you're in shape, this is what you do. That's like Phil Jackson stuff right there when he's talking about I can't travel with the team because I'm too old. At least he was older as a coach. Yeah. We don't know what's true about it, but we do know that Kyrie can do some kind of crazy stuff here and there and say some crazy things. So nobody doubts that happened. I'll ask you, Stat, really quick. If that's the truth, and if he even asked for that, you still want to trade for that guy?
You know what? I really do believe that he understands what would be at stake when he puts on his idol's jersey, and that's the only thing got for him.
Is he?
But we don't know that. What we got. But see, I'm just giving him that because I've seen him with Kobe. I've seen how he feels about Kobe. He respects Kobe, and if he putting on Kobe's jersey, I think he's going to have to go ahead. Because why would he come here and would destroy the Lakers? I mean, he wouldn't just. Why?
Yeah, he's a little.
Why? What are you doing? That doesn't help your legacy.
He's a little off, though.
It really doesn't help your legacy, though.
Does he care about his legacy?
What is his legacy?
That's right. Does he care? I don't think he cares.
I mean,
I don't think that's something he plays for.
Yeah.
Newton, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a Carolina guy, and we talking about a Duke player.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. But
that's like us talking about a Celtic. Yeah, he's okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a great guy. I don't think he buys in, man. It's based on personal things for him. And we all have jobs that we do. And sometimes you gotta do your job, man. That's how I look at it. When you have a job to do, you've been hired to do your job. You got to do your job. The personal is the personal that is set aside.
Separate.
You're getting compensated for your job. Get that thing done. Period. It ain't this and that. Get it done. And I don't know if he's gonna buy in. Come in here.
That's fair criticism. That's fair. That's fair.
And that's a great thing that you brought up with the Kobe thing. Because that was his idol.
I mean, that's all I got.
Once again,
that's the only thing you're hoping
that
when the lights turn on.
Yeah,
that's what you're hoping will keep Kyrie
that's all I got, dog. That's all I got.
Earth.
Because obviously, I mean, on flat earth, right? I mean, but it's like, because we've seen everything else. You asked for your own team. Okay, you did that. You got your own team. We allowed you to in broad daylight tamper. We were looking at them have that conversation with KD in the hallway, talking about, bro, man, you just don't want to be tampering. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this. So it's like we've seen this cat do all this wild stuff, and he went to Boston, right? Come on, dude. That's your opportunity to really show. You were at a franchise like Boston. If you would have came out and did what you were supposed to do, they would love you to death right now. You know what I'm saying?
I think part of the problem, too, was he didn't understand how to do it.
Oh, he still don't know, right?
Still doesn't. And he's a phenomenal talent. But and I look at it like some guys never get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what though?
I'm not saying, and I hope he does. He's a phenomenal talent, but
see,
this is later on, and he's still setting his ways.
He's even more set.
You know what?
Even more. He's really dug in. He's dug in.
Now
he's dug in right now.
It's really about heart over talent. Like you know, you can have talent all in you know, you have all the talent in the world, know what your potential is, and all that stuff. But when you literally are the one that everybody looking at you, you know, that spotlight is on you, and every move that you make, you know, affects. You're not a sidekick anymore. You're leading that team, and it's your fault if you win. It's your fault if you lose, and you go to. We don't come to LA with that.
It's a different beast over here.
LeBron gonna let you know. You know what I mean? LeBron
he went
let
through
you
it
know.
too. Still going through it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we don't care. Like listen, we go back to back. So that one, you know, it's worn off. Dude, we gotta go get another one.
Right.
You know, we got the same team too.
Yes.
And we
hold on, race to 18.
We got and they're talking about that's an asterisk because you know we in the bubble.
Yeah.
So we gotta prove that ain't.
You gotta prove it.
You gotta prove that ain't like it's a whole lot of different dynamics over here, dog.
Yes.
And the way we do that is by missing the playoffs.
So we're talking about he allegedly want to play 60 games.
Yeah.
You can't bring that to LA. Not that mentality.
I think he did that to them. Because when he comes here, one thing, first of all, if he comes here, they're not gonna blame Kyrie for losing the championship. So he's literally going to come into a situation where he's going to be pretty much the third person where he's going to have to deal with any kind of responsibility because AD got to prove that he can stay healthy for 75 games. If he don't do that, it doesn't matter what happens. We're going to call him injury prone. And the only reason why we lost is because he didn't play his same, a certain amount of games. If LeBron
bubble AD. It was bubble AD. That's
and then LeBron is going to catch the bullets because once again, he didn't take the team to the championship. Kyrie, all he got to do is ball. Now, think about
that's the case, though? He ain't going to get no scrutiny here.
But he will if he opens his mouth.
Look at Westbrook.
Play ball.
Westbrook didn't open his mouth. He got hella
But at the same time, Westbrook didn't make no layups, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But you are saying that Kyrie has to perform.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, as long as Kyrie performs, but if he doesn't perform, he's gonna get blown. He's gonna get blasted.
I'm just saying when I'm looking at the game, I just think that he only go up from up. I mean, he got a mid-range game. He can actually. I'm just looking at it from a basketball standpoint. Like you're going to be running pick and rolls off of with AD. You're going to be able to eat. And if you have a mid-range game, which we know he does, and he got a post game, then you know what I'm saying. I just say that he can eat, and he should be able to do that. And if he keep his head down and just ball, it's going to naturally come to him because of the gravity of LeBron and AD. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't know.
Buy in though.
I mean, that's the thing.
Going back to Miami. Bosh and D Wade bought in.
Yes.
Well,
So
see,
that's the
Right.
bottom line.
Here's
We buy in.
but here's the thing about that.
Played their roles.
Not
Yes.
only
Took it seriously, played their roles, and
Yeah.
never took a night off.
we knew Westbrook, or Profane Nation knew Westbrook was a bad fit because we knew already what Westbrook's game was.
Yeah.
He has to handle the ball.
Ball dominant.
And like, so can he still play? Can he play at an MVP caliber? I think he can, but I think he has to be ball dominant, and he has to be able to pass the ball, penetrate, and do what he does.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do that on a LeBron team. Now, I am interested to see what Darvin Ham said, because Darvin Ham has a whole nother perspective. His press conference was amazing. I'm interested to see what he's able to do. Is he able? Because look, I'll tell you how to make it work.
Yeah.
They both making $44 million, so you got to start them both, right?
Yeah,
5 minutes in the game, you sit Westbrook down. Let LeBron play the rest of the first quarter. Second quarter, you have Westbrook run the ball on that second.
And he can be ball dominant.
Now he can be ball dominant. And now he can go out there and do the pick and pop and pass to people, do whatever he do. See, what people don't understand, we saw it. It was horrible. That dude was breaking from everywhere. But guess what? The dude averaged 18 points and 7 rebounds.
He still did.
And 7 assists.
Yeah, sure.
So if I give you the stat sheet and say, do you want this player on the team? You're going to say yes. I show you Russell Westbrook, you're going to be like, no.
Yeah, but you forgot to look at the turnover.
But why did
That's the big one.
But why did that happen? That happened because people weren't in the spots. They don't run play. They don't practice.
Yeah.
They don't practice where they're going to be.
Not really doing
you know what I'm
anything.
saying?
Yeah.
Like this dude literally averaged a double-double.
Yeah.
Right?
Going back to what you said,
Go
though, is that going to work, though? The only way it's going to work is if they buy into that.
They have to. That's why I'm interested to see what Darvin Ham could do.
A coach makes you're a ball player. Coach makes a huge difference. You can have same players change coach, and it's a completely different story. Del Harris, Phil Jackson, you name it. You go from a squad that can't do it to a squad that can't be beat. Who knows what Darvin Ham can bring? I'm personally, I'd rather not wait around and see. I'd rather just move on from the Westbrook, just because regardless of who our coach is, nobody thinks it fits. It's not a negative on any of those players. It's just, you have 2 square pieces, you need a triangle piece. It ain't going to fit, you know? So I'm ready to move on, but
I just need LeBron to take say, yes, I did it. I'm sorry. Yes, it was my idea. Sorry.
I asked for Westbrook and it didn't work. My bad.
Yeah.
I'll take the heat for Rob.
Well, the bottom line is, you have to structure a team. You got to have a player, a guard, you got to have a forward, you got to have these types of people. You have to look at styles of plays. You can't go for a name brand. You can't. Right? You go name brand, it's not going to work, because you have these players that all need the ball at the same time. Right, so you got to construct the team with the pieces that you need. Like you knew Kobe was going to have the ball.
He's going to have the ball,
right? So Kobe needed a Gasol. He needed a Shaq who could be able to read what they was going to do, and they can make things work. Gasol knew where to be.
Yeah,
Gasol knew Derek Fisher.
Knew where to be.
Ball dominant, overshooting point, gathering point guard.
No,
but shot it when you needed him.
They knew where to go
and get the ball where it needed to go and get the offense rolling. Obviously, the goal here, guys, for all these teams is to win a ring, to win a championship. I can't help but notice our guest has a beautiful ring hanging around his neck. Can you tell us a little bit about the ring, please? So I've been wondering. I see it there.
This ring is pretty special to me, man. So John C. Riley, who plays Dr. Jerry Buss,
awesome.
He, we went through our first season. And he was very gracious enough to give all the players a replica 1980 NBA championship ring.
Wow.
It's got a lot of weight to it, man. And it's got our personal names engraved
wow.
on the interior of it. And it was very special to me, man, because I felt like we won a championship, accomplishing this first season.
Yeah.
And to go to and reenact all these different real life situations that happened, we all felt like we won a championship. So to get something like this as a wrap gift, it was
that's awesome.
It was a dream come true,
man,
on a lot of levels. And that's just not as an actor, but as a ball player too. I feel like I won a championship. You know what I'm saying?
But you did, though.
Well, what I'm going to say, I'm going to show the 6 degrees of separation here. Thank you for telling me that. My neighbor is the one who designed that.
Get out of here, man.
Maria de la Cruz out of Pasadena.
Okay.
She actually told me that she was designing rings for the cash. She didn't tell me who hired her to do it, but she told me that she was designing rings. She's a very high-end jeweler. And
love that.
yeah, she lives
Awesome.
in Pasadena. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and she told me that. So the fact that you brought that, you see that's amazing. That's an amazing story. She didn't tell me who hired her, who called out, but she did tell me that they were designing them. So
I
that's
love
awesome.
that, man. That means that. Tell her thank you.
Oh yeah,
It was exceptional work. Man.
Yeah, she did a great job. That's for sure, because it's beautiful.
Okay, real quick,
please,
before we get into our out of bounds, we want to just real quick say happy birthday to the great Magic Johnson.
Absolutely.
Today is his birthday.
63.
63. So, he's still got some years left. So, and enjoy him while you can. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would say enjoy him while you can.
One of the greatest point guard.
Greatest point guard. And y'all need
ever.
to stop that with that Steph Curry is better than Magic Johnson as the point guard. Y'all need to stop that right now.
2 different styles.
Yeah, don't do that, dude. Don't do that.
Magic is a he changed the league.
Yes, and they trying to say the same thing about Steph, but he's doing it in a different fashion. He's like he's shooting better than point guards. Shooting guards. Excuse me. I mean, that's his claim to fame. And then also we played the Clippers opening night, and then we played the Mavericks on Christmas Day.
Is it Clippers? No, I believe it's Warriors opening.
Oh, Warriors opening night,
and then Clippers opening night.
Their
season.
Okay, for their us, okay, that's what it was.
Play the Warriors. And speaking of that, if I'm correct, being a Lakers season ticket holder for as many years as I have been, this is one of the first years the Lakers will be on the road for Christmas. They're normally at home, so they have definitely lost their luster there.
You open up your Christmas though.
Yeah, now I don't have to worry about going to the game and telling the family.
Right.
But yeah, I believe it's going to be in Dallas this year. So that is something right there.
I think that it happened when they played Phoenix. You remember when Kobe dunked over? Oh my gosh, who did dunk over?
I think I remember too.
You remember that?
That
it was from the baseline. Yeah, Steve Nash. He dunked on Steve Nash from the baseline.
When?
Yeah, it was a Christmas game. I remember.
You mean the dunk?
Phoenix. Yeah.
The dunk.
I don't want to say anything.
One of many, but
I don't want to say anything.
All right, everybody. Well, if you watch the show, which I know you do, you know that we finish each show.
I want that. Can I try the ring on after?
You can look at it, but you're not allowed to try it on.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Cool.
Don't touch it. No problem. Don't steam up the ring. You guys all watch the show, so you know we finish the show with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike's going to share his opinions or thoughts on a topic, and it's simple. He just wants to know, are those thoughts in bounds or out of bounds? Money Mike, you got the mic.
Y'all gonna love this one. So man, my out of bounds. Sometimes they serious, sometimes not. They not. I think this was funny as hell. Right. So I was thinking about this whole LeBron thing. We go on Facebook, man. You scroll and everybody say LeBron is great. He's better than everybody. Everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I out of bounds to say that LeBron's fan base is more loyal to him than the Beehive is to Beyonce?
Wow.
We'll go with Newton first.
That is really interesting.
You're not out of bounds.
You in bounds.
You in bounds.
You in bounds.
Yeah.
It's getting there, huh? I mean, if it ain't there, it's on that level, right?
It's close.
It's on that level. But I think I honestly, to be honest with you,
you can't talk about Beyonce.
But see,
Beyonce,
I honestly think it's
level.
just stan culture. I think there's a lot of Curry stands. There's like you can't. Have you been on Twitter and seen the Curry people go against the LeBron people? Like it's always them bickering.
Curry's the one that's threatening. The Curry fans are the ones that feel the most threatened. Yeah. Or I mean, it's the LeBron fans that are threatened by Curry.
He's the flying ornament. Yeah. He's the tarnish.
Yeah.
He's the one that's like, this Curry guy again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who dare him call him the best in the league when I was dominating the league? You know what I'm saying? Like he's that guy.
Yep.
And so I just think these stands like all over the place. Like, Cardi B got stands. Nicki Maynage got stands. Like you say anything and they just come and converge. But if we're just talking about top of the food chain, which Beyonce is, and LeBron, yeah, man, they're I think you're out of bounds, but just barely, because I think they're not on the hive yet. And they're not on the hive, but the hive is they special.
I'm going strictly inbound. Yeah, I see it all the time. I'm on the Facebook groups, and they get butthurt at anything that may affect LeBron, may tarnish LeBron. They don't want to see anybody else succeed, not because they don't want them to succeed, because it may hurt LeBron's legacy. It's pretty ridiculous, as a matter of fact. So I say you're inbounds actually, and I don't usually
Okay.
agree with
Cool.
you.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm happy.
So I'm going inbounds.
Because I want to thank you, man, because you sent a meme out a couple of weeks ago that and it showed that 91%
That's a crazy stat.
of LeBron's points came at garbage time last year.
91%. 91%, dude. That's telling.
91%.
This
that's-
era of basketball,
Yeah,
where there's
this
no
era of
defense
basketball.
now.
And then last year he literally scored most of his points
Garbage.
in garbage time.
Really?
Game was already decided.
That is, if that doesn't scream stat pattern, I'm sorry. I mean, game's out of reach. Game's already done.
Yeah,
And he's still scoring.
Let me
Yeah.
go and
He's
score
still
this
scoring.
30.
He's still
and
scoring.
lose by 20.
Oh yeah, I got 15 in the fourth quarter. I'm about to hit these
Yeah.
threes, get these threes, go ahead, get to the line by 4 times. I get a 30, not 29.
That's
you
the,
know?
that's the one. That's the one thing you can't get around. The numbers. You
Yeah.
can't hide the
around
numbers. They are
No.
what they are.
Women line,
You are your
women line,
record.
man line, numbers don't.
You are your record.
LeBron's, and I just side note real quick.
Please.
LeBron's legacy would be different if he never said anything about this GOAT stuff.
You just let it be.
Played the game of basketball.
I agree with you.
Because now you getting scrutinized. Because now you getting compared.
Mm-hmm.
You asked for it. You begged for it.
asked for
Yeah,
it.
you wanted to be that way.
Yeah, and he's a great ball player, man. But now I'm looking at him like, oh, you can't say that kind of stuff, man, and not be scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
But then don't cry about it when you are. You can't.
Because here's the thing, like this dude literally at the beginning of the season said, keep that same energy at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he didn't.
And he didn't. Like, dude, and nobody kept that energy. Nobody jumped on him hard enough based on what he said. I feel they didn't. Because this dude was talking like, we about to win the championship, and this dude, we in 11th place.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And
You
the
love place,
accountability.
And never stepped.
Now going back to those, I mean, I know we got to run,
Yeah, sorry
but
about
you know,
No,
when we're talking
you
about
good, man.
the
Hey,
fans,
I like you, man. You come in time, man. Because you're very knowledgeable
Yeah.
about LeBron.
It's just one thing about the fans. About it's hard because now those fans are now Laker fans, and like we already had our own problems. You know what I'm saying? We already had to defend the Laker legacy without LeBron. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We always were trying to, basically
Not the
defend
LeBronators.
and pump up Kobe. We were the ones like, what about Kobe though? We had these conversations of GOATs and all that. We were like,
How's
what
he
about
getting
Kobe?
bypassed?
Like, why is he just getting skipped over? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden, Giannis is could be in a GOAT conversation. You're like, wait a minute, well, what happened to Kobe?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so now you have these fans coming in, and now it's really on 10. Now it's like, I hate you because you're a Laker fan, first and foremost. And now I hate you because you are a LeBron fan, second. Or it could be first LeBron fan, Laker fan, second. Like, you know what I'm saying?
As soon as LeBron's gone, they'll disappear too.
Yes.
Man,
But the difference is the
When's LeBron
Lakers
leaving?
will still have the largest
Yes,
fan
we'll
base
still be good.
because we don't need the
No,
bandwagon
we don't need
fans
that.
and never did.
Never.
Yeah.
Other teams do.
Yeah.
Newton, thank you so much for joining
4
us.
and 10. My daughter come home with a test, 4 and 10.
Oh,
She on punishment.
finals. All
She
right.
on punishment.
Hey, that's
I'm
very
just saying. She on punishment.
That's what
Hey,
it is.
hey, shout out one more thing. I know we got to go. Shout out to Bill Russell. You know, he actually went to 9 in a row and won them. And he fought racism and everything.
They ain't gonna put that number 6 on our court.
I agree with what
With
the
a yellow
NBA is
cloak.
doing as far
As long as
as
it's not green.
as far as retiring his number. I think he deserves that honor. Their grandfathering LeBron. LeBron, go ahead, take it off. You ain't
And
nowhere
Caruso.
close to. And Caruso,
Hey, throw it in there.
Caruso, you can wear yours. LeBron, take yours off, man. Find another number,
Talking about.
and not 23.
And
What you gonna be known for?
I'm gonna throw in. I'm gonna.
What you gonna be
I'm
known
gonna-
for?
I'm
Can
gonna
you get a
close
number
this.
that you known for?
Right.
Can you get a number?
I'm
Just
going to
one
close out
year.
with this. I'm going to close out with my
I need
own
to be
little
known
out of
for a
bounds.
number.
Here's my own
How
little
about
out of
0?
bounds. Okay. Couldn't they have done this before he passed away? For Bill Russell, so he could have known and seen it posthumously. Couldn't he have done it? I mean, if they were going to do it, put it so quick. Could they have done it
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
So if they
It's a little
plan on doing
reactionary.
anything for a Magic Johnson, I mean, they just put in
Or
the
Kareem.
trophies while they're still alive. Do it now.
Mhm.
If you plan on doing it, do it
With
while they're
the next
around.
with the screen.
So that they could
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
the love, the stat. I mean, that's my little
Yeah.
out of bounds for now. Thank you for joining again, Newton. Thank you so much for joining us. Stat Pat Money Mike.
LeBron, change your number to 0.
Man, get off his
Be
neck,
known,
man.
be known for a number.
Get off his
Wasn't that
neck right
Russell
now.
Westbrook? So if he leaves the team, we're
He on
good.
his
Gilbert
head.
Arenas.
Yeah, there you go. Agent
Double
Zero.
zero.
Agent Zero. All right, guys. We will be back next week, 8:30 on Sunday Night Live. We have another guest, so be sure to tune in and stay tuned to our Instagram, our Twitter, so forth. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube to make sure to keep up to date. We're at the Infinity Studios. We thank you so much, and we'll see you next
Newton,
week.
where can we find you right quick?
Oh, please.
Hey, you can follow me I'm big on Instagram at Newton, Newton. My last name is Mayange, Maynge.
Gotcha.
You can check me out
Pronounce
right there.
Mayange.
And season 2 on its way.
There you go.
Absolutely. And we'll get you back on when they do.
Appreciate you. brother.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys for
you.
having me too, by the way.
Appreciate
Oh, man,
Oh,
was
man,
awesome.
it was
you.
fun, man.
All right.
You were one of my favorite guests. You think like me.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
I'm not hating.
Oh my God.
I ain't hating. That's right.
All right, guys. See you next.
All right.
Peace.